Hi everyone, my name is Kobe Warner. This is KOBLIZZY, and I am so excited to be back here today, but I am overjoyed that you have decided to join me. This episode is going to be queer as folk, and so I hope that you are along for the ride. If not, you know where the door is, but I am just going to celebrate and elevate queerness today because there are some beautiful things happening in the midst of all the political nonsense and the fear mongering that is going on in America and in the world. I mentioned that in the last episode. I mentioned it in a couple previous episodes. And while we do need to acknowledge the real issues in the world, it's more fun to talk about positive things too. So we're going to talk about positive stuff today. Amazing, positive, beautiful things. And the art of drag, some beautiful developments in the Tonys recently as far as Black queer representation goes. And just kind of drag overall. Kind of always wanted to be a drag queen. And I'm not a drag queen officially, but with the way that drag queens are being critiqued and criticized, the way they are being used as a symbolism for fear and like I said, fear mongering and like a tactic for all of that nonsense and trans people. I am going to talk about how much I want to be a drag queen in protest. That's my protest today. So let's just go along for the ride. But first, as per usual, I'm going to talk about the song of the week. And I actually didn't write one down in my notes. I literally wrote about 4 words on my notes for today's episode, and they say the art of drag. So we're just kind of going with the flow today, I suppose. I just really just wanted to talk. I just have some things to say. So I think I'm going to talk about Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe put out a new album that I actually can't remember the name of, but I pre-saved it as soon as I think it's called The Art of Pleasure, the Age of Pleasure. Let me find it. I think it's The Age of Pleasure. Where she could win it? The Age of Pleasure. I was right. She put out Float as a single. It's the track number 1, the very first song on The Age of Pleasure. She put that song out, I think, in February, and I made it a song of the week immediately. I was obsessed. I really liked that song. And so I pre-saved the whole album then. And so when it came out on May 13th, okay, I guess I didn't listen to it as soon as it came out. But I listened to it like all the way through like 2 weeks ago. It wasn't definitely not in May. Well, I mean, it was early June. Okay, anyway, I'm getting stuck on semantics. My favorite song, I think right now is number 5, Hot. They say I look good. They say I look hot. They say I look pretty. They say I look hot. They say I look sexy. They say I look hot. Like she ate. Just is like a feel good song. Lipstick Lover. I like that song too. Only Have Eyes for Two. I think Janelle Monáe might be polyamorous. I know Janelle Monáe is of the queer community. I think they even identify as non-binary. I'm not sure of pronouns, so I'm just gonna use they to be safe. 1212. It's 1212. 1212, still taping. My mom texts me 1212. We text each other angel numbers. Isn't that cute? Like when they're on the clock. Anyway, I like Lipstick Lover. What was I saying? Only Have Eyes for Two. There's a song, track number 13. Let me put it over here. This is my good side. Only Have Eyes for Two is Only Have Eyes for Two. I don't remember the melody, but that was just kind of like, it's like wordplay. Only Have Eyes for You. Only Have Eyes for Two. And then in Float, there's even a bar about I'm bi-coastal. I have a man in Atlanta and a girl in LA or on the other coast. I'm bi something. You know, like I think I pay for them both. I don't remember the words off the top of my head. I could pull them up. Shit, couldn't I? Ooh, let me avoid that copyright strike like the plague. I paused that shit so quick. It played for half a second. So in Float, she said, no, I'm not the same, nigga. I think I done changed. See something not the same, nigga. Huh. I used to walk in the room head down. I don't walk, now I float. Hey, I float on my float on my float. Woo, something, something, the kitten in my coat. They hanging on to that goose down in my coat. Yeah. I float on my float on my float. Hey. I don't step, I don't walk, I don't dance, I just float, 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 I float on my float, on my float. Janelle ate that song up. And that's not even the lyric I was supposed to read. I always get so distracted. You know I like to sing into this microphone. I think when I get this little short SM7B in front of me, I feel like I'm recording a song and I just want to sing on this podcast all the time. Something about bi-coastal, I pay for them both. Just trust me, all right? Listen to the song. I like track number 1, Float. Track number 2, Champagne Shit. I like track number 4, Phenomenal with Doechii. I like track number 5, Hot. I like Lipstick Lover. I like Only Have Eyes for Two. I like The Rush featuring Nia Long and Amory. I don't know them. But yeah, I love Janelle Monáe. I also love their record Dirty Computer from a couple of years ago, 2018, I think. I love, what's that song? That's just the way you make me feel. The way you make me so good, so fucking real. Janelle Monáe can craft a bop. That is Janelle Monáe's talent. And is a fantastic performer. So that is the song/album of the week. It's Janelle Monáe. The song of the week is Hot and Champagne Shit. And the album of the week is The Age of Pleasure, Janelle Monáe. Loving it. Now I want to talk, before we get into the art of drag, very quickly. Do you like this bust down I got going on? This is all my hair too. Coming out of my head. Literally all I've ever wanted. So I used to have in 2020, hold on, back up. I shaved my head twice in high school. I shaved it in June 1st, 2018, 10 days before I came out to my friends and family, 3 weeks before I came out to the world. I was kind of going through it, and my hair, I had just dyed it a couple of months before, and I didn't want to keep dyeing it, but I also I just didn't know what to do, and I just shaved my head myself impulsively one day, and I didn't like it very much. And so as my hair was growing back, it was probably 2 inches long. 9 months later, in February 2019, I shaved it again on February 1st. June 1st, 2018, and February 1st, 2019. Shaved my head twice. So February 1st, 2019, I've been growing my hair out, or I grew my hair out from then until the summer, May 2021. In May 2021, so 2 years later, 2 years and a couple years later, I got my hair cut into a mullet, which was so cute. And I got my hair cut into a mullet a couple more times. And I think the last time I had my hair cut was August. That's not true. The last time I had my hair cut was August 2021. And the last time I have shaved sides, or I used to. And the last time I shaved the sides of my head myself, I used to do that myself, was February 2022. And so I've been growing my hair out for a year and a couple of months from this mullet. And all I've wanted the entire time was shoulder length hair with some curtain bangs. And I kind of want a curly wolf cut. That's my dream. And I just want to have that hairstyle until I die. I just want to have it forever. And so I've been so annoyed with my hair because it just hasn't been long enough. And let me tell you, growing a mullet out in curly hair is hell. Hell and a half. The way you have to cut your hair for a mullet, your hair is 25 different lengths all over. And it was just, oh my God, it was so bad. But I've been trying to grow my hair out. I'm anemic, so I've been taking my iron. I've been using the hair oils and taking the biotin and the B vitamins. And I'm just Lord, please, God. Whoa. That was crazy. But Lord, please let me get my little wolf cut bust down. I really want a little curtain bang situation because y'all know I got a big forehead on Rihanna. But if Rihanna loves hers, I can love mine. So I don't mind exposing it nowadays. I used to draw my hairline on. I'm not talking about what I'm supposed to be talking about. Why the fuck am I talking about my hair when I'm supposed to be talking about the legendary Black queer, let me get myself off the camera so I stop looking at the viewfinder. The legendary Black queer representation this past week at the Tonys. Now I didn't, or maybe it's a week and a half ago. I don't know when the Tonys were exactly, because let me be real. Usually the Tonys are on my birthday, and I felt wait, let me see what day they were on. The Tonys are usually on June 12th or June 11th. They've been on my birthday for many years in a row, and so I usually am just used to watching the Tonys on my birthday, but they weren't on my birthday this year. What day was the Tonys? 2023. Float on and I float on and I float. It was June 11th. Okay, so I just wasn't paying attention, I guess. So I didn't watch the Tonys. And in fact, I mean, I saw Alex Newell, one featured actor in a musical, non-binary person number one, and J. Harrison Ghee, one leading actor in a musical. They are also non-binary, even though they were nominated in the actor category. Featured actor is a little different because there's not two. It's not gendered. There's not featured actor male, featured actor female. There's just featured actor in a musical. And so supporting and leading, there is male, female, male, female in both of those categories. And so J. Harrison Ghee didn't have any option but to be nominated within the actor category, even though they are non-binary, and so is Alex Newell. And I'm not sure if they both exclusively use they, them pronouns. I know Alex Newell has said before that they don't really specify pronouns. I don't know about J. Harrison Ghee, so I'm just going to use they to be safe. But I know they are both non-binary identifying, and so that's fabulous. Because you see all this, propaganda about how queer people are just, they, theming it to be, different or whatever. And it's like, I mean, personally, I took my pronouns off of my social media accounts. And I know, I had a friend ask me about that. Like, oh, did you change your pronouns? No, I still would like you to call me they, them pronouns. I just, after getting, and I took my pronouns off of my social media before this happened. But when I got an exuberant amount of hate comments on my podcast Instagram account before I took it down, before I deleted the account. Like I said, the TikTok is still up. Follow the TikTok. At KOBLIZZY Show on TikTok. Follow me, please. If you want to support the podcast. If you want to follow me, you can follow at KOBLIZZY. I have 2 TikTok accounts, at KOBLIZZY, at KOBLIZZY Show. And the people who listen to this podcast every week are like, bitch, if you say that shit one more time, I'm going to fucking shank you. And I get it. But baby, you have to promote yourself. If you don't promote yourself, how are you going to promote somebody else? That didn't really make much sense. Anyway, J. Harrison Ghee and Alex Newell, just fabulous representation. And what I was saying is that I saw Alex Newell's acceptance speech on TikTok. You see everything on TikTok nowadays, even though I didn't watch the Tonys. And I hadn't seen J. Harrison Ghee's speech until a few minutes ago. So I just watched J. Harrison Ghee's speech in full on YouTube. I watched Alex Newell's speech in full on YouTube, even though I'd already seen it. And then I watched the Shucked performance and the Some Like It Hot performance. Alex Newell's in Shucked, J. Harrison Ghee's in Some Like It Hot, the revival. And it was just so, whatever. They are so good. And, I mean, Alex Newell sings their face off. I remember, so when Glee, I was stunted in, queer, I don't know, 15 is young, that's a baby, but I wasn't one of those gay people who was gay in secret. I was really trying to be that straight boy all the time, and even though I was failing miserably because it just isn't in my makeup or my chemistry, I felt pressure to try to be a boy. And it's weird, because when I was a kid, I mentioned in the last episode, I said I wasn't going to talk about anything negative, but just very quickly. When I was a kid, I was called words that were gay or gay adjacent, slurs or otherwise, throughout my entire childhood by all kinds of people, by young people, old people, and otherwise. And it's interesting that when you embrace what people call you, then they're mad that you did that. It's like they think they can beat the gay out of you, whether it be physically or, trigger warning, Jesus, physically or verbally, or mentally, or cyberbullying or bullying in school, whatever it may be. It's interesting that when you embrace what they've called you, then they want you to, they go the other way. It's I thought I was gay. I thought I was a FAG. I thought I was all these things. And I'm like, oh yeah, I am. Then you're like, whoa, what do you mean? You're mentally ill. And it's weren't you calling me this my entire childhood? Y'all were some dumbass motherfuckers. I'm so dead. Moving on. J. Harrison Ghee, Alex Newell. I love y'all. Congratulations. I couldn't be more proud. I couldn't be more happy. I couldn't be more ecstatic to see 2 Black queer people win. Yes! You know what I mean? Thank you, God. throughout everything going on right now. Thank you, God. And then Adele, what am I trying to say? Her Vegas residency just started back up, and her first show back, she wore this dress. It really wasn't even a rainbow. It was like red, yellow, orange. But you know how Adele always wears black, always wearing black, always looking like she going to a funeral or a deposition. Adele always in black, and so she had this like rainbow. But I say that loosely because it wasn't the entire rainbow. Colors like a train on the back of her dress. And she announced that it was because she was celebrating Pride. And I appreciate, again, in this economy that she would do that, you know, because, I mean, even though it's bare minimum to stand up for the existence of a group of people, a lot of people still don't do it. And so you appreciate when your faves, somebody you enjoy, and you love their art or, you know, whatever they do, you love them, and it's nice to see people stand up for you. So I was like, good for Adele. And then allegedly, I saw on social media that she lost 50,000 followers or something like that. And so then she posted like a GIF on her story of like blowing a kiss, like, you know, bye to whoever. And that was funny. So good for Adele. But yeah, great stuff happening this Pride Month, even though the corporations are too scared to celebrate Pride Month. Fortunately, the Tonys aren't. And not that, you know, giving them the award was a Pride Month celebration. They deserved the awards, people. But lots of people before them deserved it too. Maybe even deserved nominations and didn't get them. So it's nice. It kind of feels like reparations a little bit. It's like, get on with it. You know, like start considering everybody. Start giving everybody a fair shot. Because there is so much talent in communities that go underrepresented and are underserved by many forms of media, by many mediums of art, by Broadway, by Hollywood, by movies and television, by politics. You know, we are just disrespected. Queer people are disrespected on every front. And so are Black people, you know, so are lots of other marginalized and indigenous groups of people. But I cannot speak to any of those groups as personally as I can speak to Black queer issues. So yeah, it's just nice to see Black queer people win. And now we can talk about drag, because this past Saturday, I had the distinct pleasure, trend alert, my new favorite phrase is the distinct pleasure of seeing Miss Gorgeous Georges from season 14 of RuPaul's Drag Race live at a bar in Atlanta called MSR. And I was so excited. I literally, on Saturday morning, I was on Twitter and I saw Georges tweet like, oh my God, I'm something about her flight being delayed to Atlanta. And I was like, Georges is coming to Atlanta, and I looked it up, and I saw that she was going to be at MSR Saturday night, and this is Saturday morning. I immediately texted my friends, Renee and Chaz, because we were supposed to go out that night anyway, and I was like, let's go to this. And so we got tickets, and when we were buying tickets, I just clicked it really quick because I was just like afraid that it was going to sell out or whatever. I didn't know, and I ended up buying a meet and greet ticket. And I was like, yes, girl, let's go to the meet and greet. And so I actually showed up by myself. But Renee and Chasmin met me later for the show, but I got to meet Georges in the meet and greet, and I had a White Claw or two by that point, admittedly. And so, I was a little lit, and I was like, hey girl, like, how's it going? I literally was like, Georges, from the moment you stepped on my TV screen in season 14, I was obsessed with you down. Like, I was obsessed with you, girl. And I really loved your Little Richard lip sync. I really loved your Little Richard lip sync. What song did they do? Let me look it up. I don't even remember. It was Jasmine Kennedy, I think. Georgios, Lil Richard. I'm having a hard time typing. I don't know why it's always when I'm trying to do something quick, I can't. Uh-oh. Did they not do a Little Richard lip sync? What's the one with like, Oh, I think I might have told Georgia she did a Little Richard lip sync, because she didn't even do one. So I don't even know what song I'm talking about. There was this one lip sync where she's wearing that blue costume and that updo, and her and Jasmine were like, she was like, oh. I just remember Georges doing that, and she ate. You know, she loves that punch the ghost thing in a circle. Georges is so cunty. I love her. And so I was so excited to meet her and talk to her, and she was super nice. And I talked to her for a while. You know, Georgia's is just super duper, like, that girl. I don't know. I've seen people on social media, like, I'm not even gonna talk about that. People be negative, you know, but Georgia's was great. And oh my God, Jimbo was in Atlanta the same night, and I didn't go see her. I actually didn't even know she was there. Jimbo, the drag clown. That's what she goes by. I'm not being shady. If you don't know Jimbo, you should be watching All Stars 8, bitch. If you're not watching All Stars 8, you're not getting the full story. So many references in this episode. Actually, most of them are to RuPaul. That's funny. Anyway, so Jimbo's gonna be back here in August. Actually, at MSR. I'm gonna try to go. I hope I'm in town. I'm like, let me see Jimbo, girl. I love me some Jimbo. And so yeah, that's that. What else was I gonna talk about? Oh, George's. Oh, and then the show. I was like, that was my first like drag show for real. Like in a bar, seeing a drag race queen. It was like so like really cool. And I didn't have any ones because I forgot to stop and get ones because I'm a local drag rookie. You know, I've always consumed Drag Race as a minor through a TV screen, and now I'm like a legal adult and can go places and do it. And so I forgot to get the ones. And so I went to the ATM in the bar. Actually, Renee did. Renee took my card to the ATM in the bar and got me a $20 bill so I could tip Georges when she came out. I was like, girl, here's your 20. I ain't got no ones, but girl, here you go. Like, love you. So that was funny. And she was a fantastic performer. She did the first song I videotaped, and I actually still don't know what song it was. But then the second song she performed, I didn't videotape. It was America Has a Problem. I was too lit to videotape America Has a Problem. That video would have been a mess because I love America Has a Problem. Dun, dun, bum, bum, dun, dun, bum, bum, dun, dun. I'm not going to sing another song, I promise. Maybe not promise, but I won't sing America Has a Problem. And so anyway, loved it. I loved Georges. I loved the local girls that were there. I can't remember some of the one girl's name was Miss He, like Miss MISS He, last name HE, like Missy, but also Miss He, funny. I remember her name. I can't really remember the rest of the girls' names, but they were great. They were all really good. There was this one of the host performers, she was hosting, she's also performing, she ate down. She was fantastic, and I wish I knew her name because she was so good. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say about going to see drag and like going out. It was a really like fun first like drag show going out experience. I can't believe I don't know if Little Richard did a Georges lip sync. Like I'm kind of stressed now because I swear to God, I think I told her she did a Little Richard. Maybe it was too loud, she couldn't hear me. But I'm like, that would be embarrassing as hell if I told her that and she didn't really do one. Oh my God, it was an Etta James lip sync. How the fuck I thought it was Lil Richard? What's the similarities between Etta James and Lil Richard?
Georges, Jasmine.
That's a mess. Anyway, Georges, it was Etta James, not Lil Richard. My bad, girl. That is crazy. I'm gonna blame it on the alcohol. Oh my God, my computer's dying. Not while I'm in the middle of taping the episode. That's crazy. We about to, be out of commission. Shit out of luck. How could I not know my computer's dying? What a silly lady. Sorry, y'all. Damn. Okay, so now I want to talk about like drag as an art, the art of drag, because I love drag queens. And I mentioned actually that I was stunted to like queerness. Well, I was going to talk about Glee earlier. Let me say that real fast. So Glee, Santana, rest in peace, Naya Rivera. Santana shaped my personality in middle school. My personality in middle school was a combination of Santana from Glee and Tamar Braxton. Because I was just obsessed with The Real, a show that Tamar Braxton was on. It was a talk show, and she's just so, she was funny, and she was very animated, and she had a lot of personality, and she had like a lot of isms. She would always say .com, and like she would do this like head neck thing. It wasn't even just like a neck roll. It was like she was like bobbing her head. It was just funny shit, dog. Tamar Braxton is so funny, and so I was obsessed with Naya as Santana and Tamar in middle school. And so Glee ended in early 2015, and I started watching it from the beginning right then. Like after it ended when I was like in 7th grade, and then like I started watching Glee when I was in 8th grade. And I watched it from beginning to end, season 1 to season 6. And Alex Newell obviously is a standout in the show as unique. And Alex Newell's performance as unique, there was a lot of really captivating moments. I Know Where I've Been, for Coach Beast, that trans man, Coach Beast's transition storyline. Sorry, it was hard to say. And however, my favorite moment is, well, not my favorite moment, but my favorite performance by Alex Newell is after this horrible moment where some nasty boys in the bathroom rip her wig off and like throw it in the toilet or something, or the trash can. They just did something really rude. And then she sings If I Were a Boy by Beyonce. And obviously Beyonce was singing that song, the original meaning, like, if I were a boy, I would respect my girlfriend. Like the way you, not, and I would not disrespect her the way you disrespect me. And Alex Newell, obviously singing this song, adds another layer. If I were a boy, because Alex Newell's character, Unique, is a trans woman. And so, oh my God, I can't tell you how many times I watched that video the video of that performance on Glee, over and over and over again over the years. And I am not a trans woman. I haven't had that sort of discovery in my gender identity as of yet, or as of late. It's just not, I want to do drag, but I love femininity, but it's just different. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like people think they're a girl. Like when I was a kid, I wanted Dora panties and this and that. And so my mom, some people that were close to me in my life had suspicions. I'm like, are you a little trans baby, a little trans girl? And, I thought about that for a long time. And I was like, I'm not. But I love femininity. So I don't know what that is. I think that just is. I can't put words to that. And so Alex Newell was obviously singing this from a trans woman's experience. But I was just like, damn, if I were the boy that people really wanted from me, like I was not a basketball playing, roughhousing little boy. And I've never been that kid or that dude. And so I really identified with Unique's emotion behind that. And I was just obsessed with that video for a really, really long time. And wow, just to see Alex Newell come this far is really beautiful. And it's really funny that she won a Tony in front of Lea Michele. Not that they're not friends or supporting each other. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's funny. Okay, so back to the art of drag. I was going to talk about that, and I was going to talk about how, I consumed drag through a TV screen. Oh, I'm riding this wave of, I was exposed to stuff kind of late. Middle school, I guess that's early, but I guess that's not late or early. It just is. I just feel like some people are like, oh, well, I've been, this, that, or when I was 12. My environment didn't feel very queer friendly growing up. And so, when I just didn't have a lot of experiences. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I didn't start watching Drag Race until the pandemic. I know I've mentioned this before, but the first season that I watched live was season 12. And then I watched season 13, 14, and 15 live. But in the pandemic, I went back and watched seasons 1 through 11. And then I watched All Stars 1 through 4 were out at the time. And then I watched season 12 and All Stars 5 live in 2020. And then season 13 and All Stars 6, 21. And then season 14 and 22 and All Stars 7, all winners. And then I watched season 15 live this year. And I'm still watching All Stars 8. So I've been watching all the American franchises live since. And I've mentioned that I watched some of the international ones. But basically what I'm saying is that wasn't something that was like a part of my childhood experience. Drag queens, I didn't know anything about drag queens until I played a drag queen in high school. And that's the truth. But I love drag queens and I love the art of drag. And I've done drag a couple times because I've played drag queens. But I've never went out in a club and drag and performed or anything like that. I've never done any type of new face competitions. I've never done a pageant. I've never made a garment. I've never done drag makeup. I've never styled a wig. I have walked in many a heel though. And so it's funny. I've been thinking recently, I'm like, do I really want to be a drag queen? Or do I just really want to add the art of costume and the beauty of a transformation into my musical performance? Because my dream is to be a pop star. I want to make I want to have like this kind of sub. You know how Lizzo makes like pop rap music, and her music is heavily inspired by self-love, and mine is, well, it is too, but not in the same way that Lizzo does it. Lizzo's music is really about uplifting people. My music, I mean, a lot of it's about uplifting me, admittedly, but it's also a lot about like heartbreaks and stuff. So it's really not just like a self-love kind of situation, but like the idea of pop rap. Because I really enjoy rapping, but I also like to sing, and singing something that's been with me forever. And so I'm like, if I can sing the hooks and rap the verses, or, you know, something by ways of that nature, I think that'd be a really cool genre to like be a to center myself in. You know, you need a brand as an artist, and obviously brands change, things change, friends change, but I'm right where you left me. I said I wasn't gonna sing another song, but that's about, I think it's an Evermore bonus track. Taylor Swift, she ate that one up. She really did. I also like the folklore bonus track, The Lakes. That one's, take me to the lakes where all the poets went to die. I don't belong here, and my beloved, neither do you. These Windermere peaks look like a perfect place to die, to cry. And I stand but not without my muse, but not without my muse. I think that's what she says. I really like that song. I just can't remember the words. Damn, what was I talking about? The ADHD is in full effect, and so is the coffee, because I am talking a mile a minute, caffeinated as hell. Sometimes I watch this episode back, and I'm like, bitch, can you slow the fuck down? Sounding like Trisha Paytas when she was on Ellen reading that book really fast. Do you think I can do like speed reading? Let me read an excerpt of My Policeman and see if I can speed read. My Policeman, with the gay movie with Harry Styles. Okay, the page I just opened to is really nasty. Like, I don't even want to read that. So I'm gonna go to the next page. Sorry, this book has some scandalous stuff in it. I'm gonna try to read really fast, like Trisha Paytas on Ellen. October 25th, 1957. A huge scandal was broken on the papers about Brighton's CIPD. I believe it's even in the Times. The chief constable and detective inspector on the dock charged with conspiracy. The details are shady at the moment, but no one knows. But no doubt they involve these men making mutually agreeable deals with various lowlifes said I found in buckets of blood. I have to say, my heart lifted when I saw the headline in August. Chief constable and 2 others accused our last other boys in Blue are facing social degrees and most imprisonment. But it's saying when I realized that this might mean My Policeman. Ordinary honest man with the force will, I'm sure, but this is pretty good. I feel like I'm doing okay. How to pay for the boss misdemeanor. So no, Lord knows what pressures they me around you now. I don't know what this voice. This sounds like I'm reading really quickly as a newscaster. I don't know why I'm speaking this way, but it's the only way I can read fast. A glitter falls on the paper this morning. We're in for a cold winter. He has stayed away for almost 3 weeks, and each day a little memory of the evening together, something lost. I can still feel the lips, but I can't remember the exact shape of the novel on the bridge of his nose. In the museum, Jackie's been eyeing me from behind her glass, and Ho's been drowning on about the need to. I'm pretty good. I will say I'm missing some words. If you slow that down, some of that would sound like gibberish, but I'm doing the best I can. I'm not Trisha Paytas, though. Back to drag. That was so random. Should I eat some Cheerios? Y'all want some ASMR? How is that? Should I take up ASMR? I'll be watching that ASMR on TikTok. I told y'all that last week. Back to drag. I'm all over the place. I was talking about doing drag and like the mechanics of it, because like I said, I want to be a pop star, a performer, and entertain a diva down. I would also love to do a drag performance in my life, a couple drag shows. I don't know if I would ever be a full-time drag performer. And there's no particular reason for that. It's just like, first of all, I think my skin would freak the fuck out if I had to put on makeup every day. Like, genuinely. And my skin's been clear for like a year for the first time in like a really long time. And so that really is one of the main reasons I'm kind of scared. And also I really just have never like, you know, got over the hump of like ordering all the supplies. It takes a lot to do drag. Like, first of all, some queens like remove their body hair and then go like tight, like pantyhose list. They don't wear the pantyhose or the padding. They'll do like, you know, they'll tuck and then they'll wear like, you know, panties and like a thong or whatever, and then they'll have like the real bare legs out, you know, and some don't even cinch, you know, they're just, you know, like real body vibes. And then some people like will show their legs, they won't wear pantyhose, but they'll still have leg hair, you know, like you can do whatever you want. But like for me, I feel like leg hair is not a part of the drag fantasy for me, but I also don't want to like remove. I am decently hairy. Like I am covered in I don't want to say I'm covered in hair from head to toe because that sounds insane. And it's like, it's fine, but like, I'm not to like flash you, but like, I have hair. It's just like short and fine. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have like long chest hair, but there's like a layer of hair. Does that make sense? And I just feel like you can see that, and that's just not. But removing hair all over my body sounds like hell. So I'm like, I think I'd have to be a pantyhose queen. But when you're a pantyhose queen, you gotta wear like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs of pantyhose, and then some fishnets over top of those, ideally. But I also read this trick that you shouldn't wear. Like, if I get 4 pairs of my tan color pantyhose, it's gonna, when you layer up the 4, they get more opaque as you layer them, and it makes it look more brown, darker brown than it is. And then my legs end up being darker than my skin, like my arms are, and like my face. And so I saw this trick that if you're like medium brown, you know, if you're not, I'm like obviously a light skinned person, and not to, I don't want to sound, this isn't a colorist vibe, I'm just talking about facts. And so for me, the trick that I found is when you do, I'll do like 2 pairs of a white person's pantyhose, like a pale person pantyhose, right? And then I'll get 2 pair of my brown ones and put them over top, and then it kind of shears out the levels of opaqueness and it matches my skin better. So that's what you do first. But that's kind of uncomfortable, all them pantyhose. And the thing about that is when you have 4 pairs of pantyhose like layered on, it makes your foot bigger. So then your shoes get tighter because you have all these pantyhose on your foot. So you have to think about stuff like this. And I got big old feet already. I'm already wearing the damn near the biggest size heel they got, you know, online. And so I'm like, just the mechanics of all of this is stressing me out. And also, if you wear pantyhose, lots of queens would then pad. They'd wear like ass pads and hip pads. So like for me, I don't got no shape. The only shapely thing I got about me is like a smaller waist. My waist is smaller than my chest and my hips. But like, I ain't really got no hips. My hips and my chest are the same size. So it's not really like, I ain't got no hips. And I have a booty, but I don't got an ass. You know what I mean? I got a little booty, no ass. No ass. You know, I could use an injection or 2. I don't think I'm gonna get it though. I'll just do some squats. I don't want that backstreet B-grade silicone to take me down, girl. I ain't got the money for the good shit. So what was I talking about? Oh, padding. So you can wear hip pads and ass pads, and you can like order pads, like pre-made like shorts that have pads built in online, or you can like make them out of foam, like, you know, mattress foam, or, you know, pillow. You can make pads out of all kinds of stuff. But that's another thing I'd have to do. You know, I'd probably have to pad, right? Well, then all the costumes have to hide your fishnets line. Because I think when you wear all those pantyhose and then the fishnets over top, then you have this line up here. And so then your bottom and your costume or whatever you're wearing, if it's a 2-piece or whatever, has to cover up the line of all the tights and the pantyhose because it looks tacky when it sticks out, right? And so then you have to think about that. And then I'm like, what? I have armpit hair, I have arm hair, and I don't want to shave my arms either. I'm like, I could trim it, but that's still, like, when you trim your hair down to the skin, you still get ingrown sometimes, and that's the whole reason I don't want to shave. And so I'm like, there's just so many mechanics to this, but I just don't feel like hair fits in my drag fantasy, and that's why I'm talking about, like, maybe I should just, like, work, you know, like, performance, like, some ideas of drag into my performance as an artist and really focus on that. I'm just kind of sitting here pondering with y'all today, to be honest. So I can, like, you know, learn how to sew and learn how to make costumes and rhinestone stuff. But you don't just need rhinestones for drag. When you're on the stage and you're in lights, it's nice to have something that catches light on you because it makes you the centerpiece. And so you see Taylor Swift and Beyonce rhinestoned, or in their case, probably Swarovski crystalled down, because it catches light. In my case, even rhinestones are, you know, not as cheap as you'd like them to be, but they ain't as expensive as no Swarovskis. And so and also rhinestoning is so much work. You have to glue all those little rhinestones on, usually with my big ass fingers. I gotta use the little tweezers. It's just like, it's a lot of work. And so I'm like, you can rhinestone my performance costumes. And so I'm like, yeah, I really need to learn how to do all this costume, like, performance shit just for the sake of like performing. But also for me, I don't really want to wear open-toed shoes. And so also when you wear open-toed shoes and then you wear all those tights and pantyhose, then you just have a hoof One time Raja and them described, wearing all pantyhose with open-toe shoes as a hoof on Fashion Photo Review, Raja and Raven. And ever since they said that, I can never forget it. And so for me, I'd have to wear a closed-toed shoe because I don't want you to see my hoof. But also, one of the manliest things about me is my feet. I always say the only thing manly about me is how I sweat and my toes. One time my friend told me I had nigga toes, and that was really funny. I don't know exactly what that means, but it sounds accurate. They just I don't know. I got my feet from my dad. I got my feet from my dad. And they are kind of a mess. And so I really would like to wear a closed-toed shoe anyway. And so, yeah, it's just like the pantyhose and the tights of it all, and then fishnets over top, nude fishnets, because that kind of makes the pantyhose underneath look less fake and fabric, which is what they are. And so, anyway, there's just a lot of mechanics. And then, of course, you have the makeup, you have the hair. And I wouldn't want to wear bad hair. I don't know how to lay a wig, nor do I know how to style a wig. There's just shit I don't know how to do. And so I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm like, I wish my hair would just grow out so long and luscious and be healthy. And then I could just wear my hair and then would just wear a wig once in a while, get a hairstylist maybe so I wouldn't have to learn how to lay it because I really don't want to. And then I can do a light beat, nothing crazy, but I just don't know. I just don't have the skills, the skill set for drag, but I've always wanted to do drag, if that makes sense. I don't have the skills for it. But I love to wear heels. Heels is one aspect of and actually honestly playing a drag queen is the very first time I ever wore heels, and that's why I continued to want to wear heels after that, because I was like, oh, these are cute. And honestly, I wear them down. I can walk on a heel, I can dance in a heel as long as it's not too tall. I can walk in a very high heel. I have a 6-inch platformer that I could run a marathon in. But dancing, I really prefer a 4-inch heel at most, because I'm not a fantastic dancer. I kind of get off balance. And so, like Jimbo on All Stars 8, she always lip syncs in these 6-inch platform heels when she knows she's not a good dancer. I'm like, girl, can you just put on a regular heel so you could have a shot? You know what I mean? Because instead of tripping and falling, she could be focusing on what she's doing. But instead, she wants to lip sync in that high ass platform. It's not easy. Those aren't very stable, and unless you're a really talented person with a lot of balance. I don't mean Jimbo's not talented. I mean, if you're not a talented lip syncer and dancer, and you don't have a good, a center of, I forget the center equilibrium. If you don't have good balance, you're gonna fall over. And so I also like to lip sync in a boot. I don't even want to lip sync in a closed-toed pump or heel. I want to lip sync in something that's zipped up and tied, because those ain't coming off. And and it's attached to your foot for real. And I feel you're less likely to twist your ankle. And I literally lip sync and practice lip syncing around my basement all the time. And I'm not a no lip sync assassin or anything, but I just really love drag. I love it. I love drag queens. I love everything about it. I wish I was them. But yeah, I definitely have brought aspects of what I'm inspired by in drag into my daily life. And I have been doing that for years. Because from the moment I learned about drag for real in high school, I was very inspired by the art. When something just feels right, I'm like, yeah, this is something I appreciate. This is something that I like. And I swear to God, every year there will be a new girl on Drag Race, and I'll be like, oh my God, I want to be her. And it makes me want to do drag all over again, because I have this whole new drag persona inspired by this girl. Season 13, I was so inspired by Simone. Season 14, I was so inspired by Georges. That's what made me want to perform. Season 15, I love Mistress. I love how shady she is. I was also really inspired by her old school drag vibe. And just the pageant of it all, which is not something I ever thought I'd be. I always thought I'd be Naomi Smalls, supermodel kind of vibe, which is probably still the direction that I would go if I ever were to have a drag persona, just because it's kind of already a part of my brand. I'm a model, literally. Not me eating on the podcast, literally crunching on Cheerios again. And this ain't ASMR. Anyway, yeah, I just really, really love drag. And I think it's, and the reason I keep saying the art of drag is because drag is just that, an art. Drag queens, I've mentioned before, becoming this tactic by, some shady peoples in America as a fear-mongering situation where they're oh, they're going to get your kids, as if it's not the priests who are doing that. And it's really ridiculous to me, because it's It's stupid. Drag is an art, and these people are just painting their faces and putting on hair and pretty costumes to go dance for people. What is crazy about that? And what about that is indoctrination? It's just that our people are so ingrained within our society to hate femininity that when they see a quote unquote man or somebody who, they believe is a man, somebody who was born the sex male or whatever, they hate that they've compromised their masculinity because the patriarchy views masculinity as the most powerful thing, the most powerful tool. And why would you as a man not embrace that power? Why would you cave to femininity? And they're idiots. They're stupid people. It is so much more fun to walk around in heels than it is to walk around looking like a boring Joe. It's boring. Speaking of Joe, did anybody actually watch You season 4? I kind of fell off in season 3, but I came back around during season 4, when it started. But then when they cut off the finale and they're like, oh, those episodes are going to come out in a month, I literally never came back to it. I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you cut the finale off from the rest of the season? That is dumb. Either put them out once a week or put it all out at one time. Don't start doing different shit. This is not the time to try stuff. I feel like they kind of I'm not going to chew those again. I feel like they messed with their bag. That was just a random side note. I feel like I've been talking forever, low-key. So I just really love drag. And I want to say congratulations to Alex Newell, to Jay Harrison Ghee. Georges was so gracious and kind to me when I met her, even though I'm pretty sure I told her she did a Little Richard lip sync, and she never did. Hopefully she was drunk too or something. I don't know, child. Hopefully she don't remember. It really is embarrassing if I said that. It's really embarrassing. But yeah, I just love drag, all the parts of it. I want to explore that fast a little bit more. And I really think supermodel drag would be cunty because I'm already a model. And if I could model in drag and out of drag, baby, it'd be for real. And I could get me a nice 40-inch bust, maybe not 40 inches, that's expensive. A nice 30-inch bust down, 36 inches, 32 inches, nice little bust down, I also think I would wear black hair in drag. I don't think I would change my hair color. I'd wear black hair out of drag just like I have black hair. I would wear black hair in drag just like I have black hair out of drag is what I was trying to say. And I also don't think I would wear straight hair very often. I'm not saying I would never wear straight hair, but I would like to wear a curly texture or a wavy hair. I also feel like that hair might be a little bit easier to find a nice synthetic version of it other than I know people you can find a nice synthetic straight wig, I'm sure, but I feel like that curly hair, it's a little bit harder to clock the syntheticism, and good wigs are real expensive, to be honest. I saw somebody say you shouldn't pay over $300 for good hair, but I'm like, a good synthetic wig probably $100, $150. Human, I don't know, God, human's expensive. I don't know how much you could get that same wig in human for, but I'll save that for when the budget's budgeting. Right now, the budget is synthetic. Like I said, I'd wear black hair. I really think brown would be a really good signature color. I feel like I should stop giving out my secrets. I feel like besides Victoria Monet, I feel like people don't signature brown. I feel like brown is a good color for my skin, but there has to be a specific shade of brown that doesn't wash me out. Because I've mentioned before, I'm a little mixed-ish as the TV show goes. And so I just think about the mechanics. I wouldn't want to wear open-toed shoes, really. I'd probably wear, tights, maybe a little padding, but I can't wear a huge Nicki Minaj booty. Nothing's wrong with Nicki Minaj booty. I'm just saying I want to supermodel Naomi Smalls. She's one of those shave her legs and wear some panties type of queen. I feel like that's what a lot of those supermodel girls do, but I don't know if I'd be comfortable with that because I don't feel like shaving. I don't have no problem being naked. I just don't want to shave my entire body. Be for real. I could get waxed, but it's expensive to go get waxed as a quote unquote man. They be charging me the man prices, and I get why they charge men more, but I'm not dirty like those mugs, So, and shaving is not it. I don't know how people who shave every day, y'all are crazy. I hate a razor. I don't even use a real razor on my face. I use one an electronic shaver on my face. I cannot take a razor. It pisses me off. So yeah, there's just some of the mechanics of doing the drag and getting into the drag that I'm just kind of I haven't been able to run up that hill, so to speak. And speaking of running up that hill, Kate Bush And her song "Running Up That Hill" just had a new crazy milestone accomplishment. Literally like yesterday or today, the song "Running Up That Hill" hit 1 billion streams on Spotify, which is crazy and so cool for Kate Bush. I'm sure she's probably like ecstatic and also like bewildered by this song's, insane success 40 years after its release, due to, of course, its inclusion in season 4 of Stranger Things. But I think it's really cool. I knew "Running Up That Hill," like my friend Georgia, one of my best friends and one of my oldest friends, showed me "Running Up That Hill" and a couple other Kate Bush songs like "Babushka" and some other songs in like 2018 or 19. I think it was my junior or senior year. She showed me Kate Bush. And so then in 2022, when they used "Running Up That Hill" in Stranger Things, first of all, I was like, that's so cool. I love that song. But then I saw how popular it got, and I was like, that's so cool, because it's a fantastic song. And I think at first I was like, this is annoying. Like, I don't want to gatekeep it, but like, da-da-da-da-da. I think I might have even talked about it on the podcast before. But now I'm like, you know what? I'm happy Kate Bush is getting all this love. And I saw on Twitter that "Running Up That Hill" is the first song by a female artist from the 80s to reach 1 billion streams on Spotify. So that's a beautiful, awesome accomplishment for Kate Bush. Like I said, thank you to drag queens. Thank you to Alex Newell. Thank you to J. Harrison G. Thank you to Georges for being so gracious when I said she lip synced to Little Richard. And thank you so much to you for listening or watching this podcast on Spotify or YouTube. That's where the video is. The audio is everywhere else. Go to KOBLIZZY.com for the links. And until then, I'll see you next week. Bye, everybody. Please like this video if you liked it, or leave a review, or some stars. Pick a key, girl, pick a key.